Good afternoon. We'll call the Committee on Ways and Means meeting back to order. And because we recess, we do not have to have roll call. We will roll right in. Members, we have a few things on our agenda for tonight in the building. So because of that, instead of adding any work sessions to our agenda, we're simply going to move out 3 bills that you heard about. Well, the first one, you did not. The first one will be new. The last 2, we did do a review of these bills where we walked through it page by page, section by section. It's been 2 days, so hopefully you were able to look it over and read it. But we are going to be starting with SB 501.
Thank you, Madam Chair. SB 501 is the PEB bill. This bill establishes the amount of the state's share of costs of premiums or contributions for group insurance for active state officers and employees who participate in the Public Employees Benefits Program. The rates in Section 1 are $730 per month for fiscal year 2024 and $759 per month for fiscal year 2025. This bill also establishes the base amount for the share of costs of premium or contributions for group insurance under the program that is required to be paid by state and local governments for retired public officers and employees. And these rates are found in Section 2 of $515 per month for fiscal year 2024 and $545 per month for fiscal year 2025. And with that, Madam Chair, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Members, any questions on Senate Bill 501 for our fiscal analyst? Seeing none, I will accept a motion.
Wait, that was a hearing. You've got to do support, opposition, and neutral.
If there's anyone here in the audience that would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 501, please come to the table. Not seeing any. Is there anyone in Las Vegas? I'm not seeing anyone in the room, Las Vegas. BPS, do we have anyone join us on the line that would like to provide testimony in support of Senate Bill 501?
Chair, the public line is open and working, but there are no callers at this time.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone here in Carson City that would like to provide testimony in opposition of Senate Bill 501? Seeing none and not seeing anyone in Las Vegas. BPS, do we have anyone joining us by phone as of yet?
Chair, there are no callers at this time.
Thank you so much. Then we will move to the neutral position. Is there anyone that would like to provide testimony in the neutral on Senate Bill 501? Seeing none and not seeing anyone still in Las Vegas, and knowing that we do not have anyone joining us on the phone line, we will close the hearing on Senate Bill 501.
Yes.
Thank you, members. We've closed the hearing on Senate Bill 501, and we will open the work session on Senate Bill 501. And with that, I will accept a motion to do pass.
Madam Chair, I'd move to do pass Senate Bill 501. Second.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Bacchus, a second from Assemblywoman Heidegge. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously, and I will give that floor statement to Assemblywoman Peters. Thank you. Moving on, we will open the hearing for Senate, we've opened the hearing for Senate Bill 503. Senate Bill 503 ensures sufficient funding for the K-12 public education for the 23-25 biennium. Good evening. Good to see you all again.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the committee. For the record, Adam Dross with the LCB Fiscal Analysis Division. This evening, I'm joined by my colleagues, Madison Ryan and Liliana Camacho Polco, and together we comprise the K-12 team for the LCB Fiscal Analysis Division. As the committee may recall, we walked through BDR 1208 Monday evening, which ensures sufficient funding for K-12 public education for the 2023-25 biennium. The bill reflects the closing decisions of the money committees related to the 7 budgets that provide K-12 education funding, with those budgets not included in the Appropriations Act or the Authorizations Act. Combined, the K-12 education funding bill provides funding of $5.8 billion in fiscal year 24 and $6.1 billion in fiscal year 25, excluding the Education Stabilization Account that had its funding placed in reserve. The amounts and the text from the BDR did not change and are currently reflected in SB 503. Therefore, we do not plan on going through the entire bill again, Madam Chair, but we are available for any questions the committee may have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Members, we did go through this bill extensively, section by section, just 2 nights ago. Boy, seems like. Does anyone have any questions for our fiscal staff on Senate Bill 503? Seeing none, thank you so much for the presentation. You can go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to thank staff for the time the other day for the questions that I had offline and giving me that time. I know how precious it is at this time, so I really appreciate you donating that much.
Thank you. And with that, we'll move into testimony in support of Senate Bill 503. If there's anyone here in Carson City that would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 503, I invite you to the table. Not seeing any, and not seeing anyone in Las Vegas. BPS, have we had anyone join us on the phone lines?
Chair, the public line is open and working, but there are no callers at this time.
Thank you so much. Then we will move to opposition. Is there anyone here in Carson City that would like to testify in opposition of Senate Bill 503? Good evening.
Hi, Madam Chair, Chris Daly, Nevada State Education Association. We're seeking an amendment to SB 503 to increase the state education fund by an additional $500 million. Last week, nearly 1,000 educators and supporters rallied here in front of the legislature, umbrellas in hand, to say it's a rainy day in Nevada, so it's time for 20. Certainly, Nevada's strong economy and record revenue is welcome news, but it's still a rainy day for Nevada schools. We rank 48th in education funding, even behind Mississippi, and everyone knows Nevada has the largest class sizes in the nation. The crisis of educator vacancies has reached a tipping point. In the last 2 years alone, Nevada will lose more than 15% of our teaching workforce. Nevada is also short people who make our schools run. The severe educator shortage threatens the basic function of our school system. Increases in SB 503 sound promising, but they're blunted by minimal increases in previous years that also had record inflation, eating away at most of the proposed increases. Along with this, the Education Stabilization Account cap increasing to 20% would stash away an additional $322 million by the end of next biennium, meaning the legislature adjusted GovRec with a larger increase for reserves than for our schools. It turns out the biggest beneficiary of additional funding are charters, with 41% increase in the biennium, worth over $400 million. On the other side of the ledger, Little Story County will lose 5% of its total budget. Sadly, the rising tide will not lift all boats. When combining the Education Stabilization Account with the state's rainy day fund, reserves could approach nearly $3 billion next biennium, 7 times the state's previous high of $401 million. NSCA believes it's fiscally irresponsible to underfund education and overinflate reserves when we can't retain educators or fill their positions when they leave. Throughout this session, you've heard from a parade of educators about the hardships of working in education with low pay and increasingly stressful working conditions. And last week, educators showed here with the thunder and the lightning. We implore you to amend SB 503 to redirect monies from the rainy day reserves to fund time for 20. It's a rainy day in Nevada schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no one else here in Carson City to provide testimony in opposition, and not seeing anyone in Las Vegas. BPS, I believe we still have no one joining us on the phone lines. Is that correct?
That is correct, Chair.
Thank you. And with that, we'll move to neutral. Is there anyone here in Carson City that would like to provide testimony in the neutral position on Senate Bill 503? Seeing none, and still not seeing anyone in Las Vegas, and knowing we do not have anyone joining us on the phone lines, we will close the hearing on Senate Bill 503, and we will thank our staff for all the long hours and the 2 presentations on this bill. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And with that, we will open the work session on Senate Bill 503, and I will accept a motion to do pass.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would move to do pass Senate Bill 503.
Thank you so much. We have a motion from Assemblywoman Bacchus, a second from Assemblywoman Hadigi. Any discussion on the motion? Assemblywoman Hadigi.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I didn't think I would get an opportunity to say this, but there's some people who, no matter what we do in this building, our work will never be enough. And that's just sad. And so I just want to take this moment to say how proud I am to take a vote on this bill and send this historic amount of money to education. Because over the last 2 sessions that I've been here, we've seen the asks for education, and we've sent that money to education. Every session that I've been here, we've sent more and more money to education, but never in this record amount. And so I'm proud of this vote. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the comment. I appreciate it. Members, any other comments on Senate Bill 503? You know, the ask was for a 20% increase, and together we've provided a 26.5% increase. So not only did we meet the ask, we exceeded it. So with that, we have a motion on the floor. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The opposition is Assemblywoman Dickman, Assemblyman Hafen, Assemblywoman Kasama, and Assemblyman O'Neill. The motion does pass. Thank you. I'll assign the floor statement to Assemblywoman Anderson. Thank you. And with that, we will open the hearing on Senate Bill 504, which authorizes expenditures by agencies of the state government for the 23-25 biennium. And we will welcome back fiscal staff again. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Kimber Ellsworth, Fiscal Analysis Division for the record. I have the Authorizations Act team here. I failed to mention their names last time I presented the bill. This is Justin Luna and Chris English. They helped put this together. So as you know, we presented the BDR on Monday evening, which was S1207, and this is referred to as the Authorizations Act, SB 504. This reflects the decisions of the money committees and contains all of the non-general fund, non-highway fund appropriations in the state budgets. And since we walked through the bill previously, I will just pause with that, and if there are any questions, we'll take them.
Thank you so much. Members, this is another bill that we heard just 2 nights ago. Does anyone have any questions on Senate Bill 504? All right, seeing none, thank you so much. We appreciate you and all the work that all our fiscal staff is doing to help us close out in this legislative session with a balanced budget. And we'll invite anyone to the table that'd like to provide testimony in support of Senate Bill 504. Not seeing anyone here in Carson City, and not seeing anyone at the table in Las Vegas to provide testimony in support. BPS, have we had anyone join us on the phone lines?
Chair, there are no callers at this time.
Thank you so much. Then we will move to opposition. Is there anyone here in Carson City that would like to provide testimony in opposition on Senate Bill 504? Seeing none and still not seeing anyone in Las Vegas and knowing we have no one on the phone lines, we will move to neutral. Is there anyone here in Carson City that would like to provide a testimony in the neutral position on Senate Bill 504? Seeing none, not having anyone in Las Vegas and still not having anyone on the phone lines, we will close the hearing on Senate Bill 504. And I will assign that floor statement to myself. To myself, but after we vote. So sorry. So, we will open the work session on Senate Bill 504, and I will accept a motion to do pass.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd move to do pass Senate Bill 504.
Thank you. Thank you. We have a motion from Assemblywoman Bacchus, a second from Assemblywoman Hadigi, and discussion. Assemblyman Nathan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I think that this has come a long way. We've done some great work here. I did have some concerns over Section 7. However, I do think that it's a lot better than we've ever done in previous years. And so I appreciate all the hard work that went into this, and I will be a yes tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Assemblyman O'Neill.
Chair, I think since you've already assigned the floor statement, I will say I will vote yes. I do appreciate the work, and I just want to concur with my colleague. I still have some question on the Section 7, but it is a good bill as it is. We could nitpick it, I think, too much. So I will be a yes. And I would like to have you do the floor statement if that's possible.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, we have a motion on the floor. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries and passes unanimously. And I'm still assigning the floor statement to myself. So that is the only thing that we have on our agenda. The next few nights will be long, so I hope y'all still love me at the end of it. So with that, those of you going to your committee party, enjoy yourself, but not too much because we'll be back here bright and early in the morning. This meeting is adjourned. Oh, public comment. There's no one on the phone. Is there anyone here for public comment? No one wants to make public comment? Okay, and there's no one in Las Vegas. BPS, do we have anyone on the phone?
There are no callers at this.
Thank you. Now we are adjourned.